So shadow work and finding your voice. What does that mean? And how can we do it? It seems like something deep and mysterious. And if you're not familiar with it, there's something unknown about it, maybe even fearful. So today I am going to take you through an exercise that connects working with your shadow, with your voice in a really simple way. It simply requires deep self-honesty and opening up to perspectives that you may not have known before or seen before. So, my name is Tania Aurora Whitecrow. I work as a shamanka. And a shamanka is a Northern European term for a shamanic medicine woman. So shadow work can be as simple as going back to yourself. That recognition of how you're feeling. And that can be something within your physical vessel. So there's that thought. If you have dreams, whether frequent or occasional dreams, that they're sending messages to you, but that dreaming continues throughout the day, through the unexpected events that may happen, or through body symptoms. And when we explore those, we see how our dreaming, that our soul is trying to get our attention in different ways. So we might experience that as physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, or some form of mental, whether that's confusion or a particular thought form that we may find troubling. So if you take a moment and connect with something, whether that's a physical symptom that you have, maybe take a few moments to be still with your body and see what may be there. Very often our emotional feelings are also something we experience physically too. So if that's an emotional feeling, whether that's an anxiety or a worry or something else, just connecting with how that feels in your physical body. If it's more a sort of mental looping or thought form, really take some deep breaths and just allow yourself to drop into your body, into your heart, and just really allowing that breath to draw that down into your body, all the way down into your feet. And with your breath, just becoming fully present with your body. And so whatever that is that you're experiencing that's coming up for you, see where you can find it in your physical body. And that might be in one specific location. It may be all over, like it could be a tingling or an ache, or even a sense of spaciousness, like excessive spaciousness. So like an emptiness, a numbness. So I'm going to give you an example. Earlier I was working when I had an ache underneath my right shoulder blade, and I was working on that. And though I have a physical cause for that, because I was doing a lot of digging over the past few days, planting trees. So, you know, I could say, oh, it's because of that. So I really allowed myself to connect in with that. And for me, when I connected into that, the fascia memory started to come up. So it created a lot of movement. So you may have something that creates a lot of movement as that memory moves through your body, okay? That's associated with the fascia or with the muscles. So I had a lot of movement. So I'm not doing it in real time, but I did have a lot of movement. And as I allowed myself to move, of course, it connected me with the memory of when I was digging. Yeah. And maybe the unconscious things that were present when I was digging and planting the trees, as much as I felt I was very tuned in. Okay. So just allow that. If there are follow any movement tendencies that may come up, that's really important. Meditation doesn't have to be still. And so if it's more as something that's centered in another part of your body, very common is the heart or the stomach. So once those movement tendencies settle, or if you don't have any particular movement tendency, it might be very slight. Like you can see right now, I'm moving very slightly backwards and forwards. And then I'm becoming aware that my shoulders are up, so I'm allowing them to drop. Just breathing into that sensation or that feeling within your body. And then allowing that energy to expand. And keep dropping your awareness into your body. And breathing through any feelings that may rise up. Taking a few moments to stay with that. And you may find that those feelings start to shift. So though, as I mentioned, I've already worked on this today, I am feeling a bit of an ache in my jaw. Still, I'm feeling a bit of an ache right at the top of my stomach, at the bottom of my sternum. And again, a little tension in my shoulders. And I'm just allowing that energy to expand and open up. And then when you feel it's expanded and opened up as much as it can for now, it's then really connect into your voice, into your throat chakra. And from that place, allow your voice to connect to those places in your body where that's held. And your ears, listen to what's coming up. What's wanting to be expressed. You may want to journal this. So what came up for me when I was doing this earlier was I'm running out of time. And that was because there was this window of lovely weather, and there's that part of me that was wanting to get that done. It's something I've been planning for a while, and some of the trees that I had were bare root, so I needed to get them in the ground quickly. And you know, I felt under this time pressure. And so then I really connected in with, what does that mean? The deeper meaning of that running out of time. So you may have a phrase like that come up. You may have some sort of imagery come up. It may even be a color. Okay. So connecting into that. And any deeper sensations that may be connected to that. And for me, that running out of time, it's feels like that's the old linear structure. There's the part of me that's still connected to that old linear structure. It's not just about the weather. It's about all the other things that I have to do, and that, you know, the time commitment that I have, or I've imposed on myself in different ways. Okay. And that sense of, I'm sure so many of us have heard, it's the year of the fire horse. If you're watching it in the year of the fire horse, and that sense of urgency, and that everything's, you know, moving fast. And yet what's happening, even though time in a way is moving fast, a lot of us are slowing down. And so there's this kind of weird juxtaposition, this sense of things are moving fast, but we're slowing down at the same time. So as I say, this is my example of what was happening for me. And with that, I'll continue with my example. There's that sense of, there's a lot of noise when things like social media, there's a lot of influence, external influence that may want us to rush, that may want us to align with an algorithm, and you know, these structures that are external to us. And for me, it was then about that permission to follow what I enjoy, to do what I enjoy doing, to not fit in with that linear time, to not fit in with that calendar time, to not fit in. And part of that is I've been putting out, you know, regular videos and a podcast, and there's that, I don't need to do them regularly any longer, because I have these other things that I want to do. I have trees that I want to plant, the lands that I'm connected with, that I want to work with, which is more important for me. So it's like to stop being influenced even by my own influence. And so as you come to that and you start to unpick the layers underneath and around what's coming up for you, and you start to come to some resolution around that, there's a shift in the energy. Okay. So there's that kind of, for me, there's that joy, right? That almost something feels really cheeky, almost elemental around, oh, I don't have to do it this way. Well, on one hand, you know, I want to be able to hold space for people, but on the other hand, I also have reciprocal relationships with the other realms as well that don't function in the same linear time. So as that energy shifts, and you start to feel those sort of new sensations and those new feelings coming up, Allow them to come up from your body and stay with that. Don't allow your mind to start to interfere, your ego mind to interfere with what's coming up. Just keep breathing and staying connected to your body. And as those realizations start to arise, just allow them to alchemize the previous sensation and feelings. And then as that happens, you want to do something to really anchor that in with that new information of how you want that to support you in moving forwards from this place. Okay. And as I said, for me, it's I'm not going to stick to doing certain things weekly any longer. I'm going to just allow that to unfold and flow, especially over the, the spring and summer months that are coming here in Scotland. Which means a deepening of trust. Okay. So that's very brief. I'll put some links below. There's one to a blog post where I have that written out in more detail, writing with vision and alchemy. And anything else that I remember, I will pop in the links below. So I hope you find that of benefit. And, shadow work can literally be that simple. It's the important thing I find. It's not just about the moving into the more beneficial feeling that's coming up that alchemizes the feeling that was uncomfortable or disturbing or disruptive in some way. It's also about anchoring that in, finding something to really anchor that in. Because when you can anchor that in, you're less likely to revisit that and loop in that pattern. Okay. Sending you much love from my heart to yours.